I am having a good day. This is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. What's good? What's good? What's good? Since I have my microphone on mute. Hello, Joaquin. Hello, Bianca. Hello, Paul. Oh, good afternoon, Paul. Sorry. Lex Luthor in his house. King David, what's good? What's good? So we've had a pretty decent, eventful day, right? Bitcoin took a nosedive. It's still in that nosedive mode. Hey, Ray. Hey, Foster. And I heard some people talking. Well, let me rephrase. I overheard some people talking, and they were having like issues, like mental issues, like almost a mental breakdown. Oh my God, what's going on? Are we ever going to pass 100,000? Ah! And I'm just like, those are new people. New people who don't know what they're doing. They bought in and are clueless and they're panicked. So we dropped what, $6,000, right? Less than 10%. I don't know if I'm crying about that. Lex, are you calling me a clown? Is that what you're doing? You calling me a clown? Are you? It looks like you're calling me a clown. That's what it looks like. Are we going to have words? Are we going to have words? So I didn't chime in. I let them go along their merry way. But I was so tempted. I was so tempted to like whip out my book and just be like, go read. Right? There are a lot of people out there that literally FOMO'd in thinking, oh, it's going to blast to 100,000 and we're going to make money and I'm just like, people. If that's why you invested, you did not invest deliberately. And you didn't invest deliberately because you didn't know your entries, you didn't know your exits, and you sure as heck did not do your own research. That's a problem. You didn't. I'm only messing with you, man. Relax. It's not that deep. I have to forget. I have to remember that sometimes I can have a really, really, really serious face and be completely joking, and some people don't get that. So yeah, no, I was only playing, man. I'm sorry. No, you can't put yourself in the corner. Only I send people to that will get you in trouble. Only I send people to the corner. Just saying. So what kind of news did we have today? Not going to go over earlier news because earlier news was covered in the earlier video. Let's go over SUI Foundation collaborating with Babylon Labs, Lombard, and Cubist. Why? The partnership aims to integrate programmable Bitcoin into the SUI blockchain. I'm going to let that marinate, as my man said. And I'm just sitting back and I'm just going, SUI's making, grown up moves. I might not agree with all of them, but they're thoughtful, strategic, and have a clear outcome. And when I see something like that, I sit back and I just go, not a bad idea. Not mad about that. Something else that happened. And this might perplex a bunch of people. So you hear about all these ETFs going out and buying all this Bitcoin. You hear about MicroStrategy breaking their own record. What was the number? Buying 54 billion Bitcoin purchase. Company adds 539 BTC. And as I'm reading this, I'm like, no, nah. To its holdings, adding it to its holdings. And I'm like, nah, that's got to be total. They're not doing that all in one lump sum right now. Right? But either way, they dumped a lot of money in. All the ETFs, record inflows, right? So how is Bitcoin taking a nosedive? They bought 10 times more Bitcoin than what was mined. how is Bitcoin lower? How is Bitcoin dropping by, yeah, $6,000, a little bit more than $6,000, right? I mean, it's not a huge number, but it's in the reverse direction. And I go back to what I said yesterday. There's just pressure. Russia bringing the market down? I don't think so. It was too sudden. It was too sudden. I don't think so. Yo, Ty Dollar, what's up? I know you're laughing to the bank, bro. I know you're laughing to the bank. You dancing a jig right now? On a Monday night, you probably up in the house going like this. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. Yeah, we see Tezos, man. Hat tip to you. I'm just saying, I can just see it. I can just see it. I can see you with the Santa hat on, dancing your little joint, talking about probably. Just saying. Not calling you out or anything for choosing a good coin at the right time. Now, let me ask you a question. Did you choose at the right time, or did you choose and it happened to be the right time? See what I'm saying? So, don't be like me. You look clean shaven all the time. You look like you got it tight. I don't. Don't be like me. So yeah, I'm just looking at that, and I go back to what I said yesterday. There's downward pressure, right? Just trying to hold it down until one day, just like with oil, somebody's going to come along and buy Bitcoin for $100,000. And when that happens, I'm expecting a lot of people to buy it for $100,000 because they're going to start to realize, oh, damn, it's at six figures now. We might not be able to do it again at that level because it's been compressed into that $90,000, $99,000 range for a minute. Now, for those of us who've been in the game for a little while, heck, I'll take it a step further. For those of us who just got in the game this year, you lived through all of the tiers going all the way up. Remember my chart? I have different tiers. As we struggle to get up there, we would hit a tier and bounce around for a little while, and then hit a tier and then bounce around for a little while and drop down a little bit. Yeah. So we're moving sideways. We should be hearing no whas. We should be hearing a lot of applause for the opportunity being presented. Alligator tears, Hutanik, alligator tears. Right? When Bitcoin dropped below 95, people were like, oh my God, hit 93 and people lost their ish. And I'm sitting back and I'm going, where's my dry powder? I'm trying to get in. Because to me, I think now is the time to get in. If you pay attention to what's going on news-wise, the kind of integration that's happening, the kind of adoption that's happening, the kind of realization that's happening. That's what I'm thinking. I know how to read. I know the difference between tiers and tiers. I mean, tiers. Alligator. Didn't you not hear me say alligator? Where's patient one? Where's patient one? She seems to have the only proper touch right in the back of the head. Either one would work. All jokes aside, now's the time you either take a breather, you step away, you breathe a little bit, you relax, and you look behind yourself. When in doubt, zoom out, right? Look at those charts and you realize, holy moly, we've been stair-stepping for a long time. And on certain steps, we seem to stay there for a little while. And that's what's happening now. Pressure, downward pressure, until they can't sustain that downward pressure anymore. And then poof, up to the next level. Up to that next level. How else can you explain not going over it, just how we hit the $99,000 mark. 9942, 99205, 99 4 and change, 95,655. Like, are you serious? Unfortunately, like my kids would say, dead. Yeah, got to keep it clean. So, was it a pullback? See, Rick, I don't know if it was a pullback. You know what I mean? Because it was very sudden. It was just. Normally, a pullback happens and it's the decline. We could get to the same number, but it's usually a more gentle decline. This was like. It's abrupt, scared people. It's like when you're on a roller coaster and you get that unsuspecting dip. It's not even a big one. It's just the steepness at which it happens just leaves your stomach up there while you come down here. Our Durant was good. So the fact it pulled back, no, the fact that it did come down is good. It is healthy. It's very healthy. I agree. Once it does not stop, we know we're on the run up to the top. To the top. You know, in previous cycles, I'd be with you on that one. I'm having a problem with this cycle, right? Because it's not the same. Everybody likes to go, well, you know, history isn't always the same. We kind of just repeat it in different ways. And I'm like, last cycle. What was the temperature of the last cycle? The temperature of the last cycle did not have Ripple anywhere near a deal with the SEC. You didn't have the amount of integration. You didn't have ETFs. You didn't have a lot of things. The cycle's totally different. And I keep saying that in the hopes that people it'll click in. It'll click in. But a lot of people, they don't get it. There's like a glare. It's not my chain. At least I don't think so. It's all right. I ain't gonna worry about it. Like, you see the lights? It's like you can see lights moving and everything. There's nothing going on. It's weird. Oh, maybe I'm just seeing ghosts. It's all right. Why doesn't Sailor wait for the bull to buy cheaper? Wait for the bull. Hey, Captain Banana, wait for the bull. You mean bear? Because he just buys over time. I knew what you meant. I was messing with you. Mr. Pags, what's good? So yeah, when I look at everything, I'm just saying this cycle is like no other. And Hutanic, to my point, what I'm saying is that normally I would be agreeing with exactly what you said, except right now it's such a different cycle. There are so many things that are going on. We have news that's dropping now whose effects won't be felt or seen until first, second, third quarter next year. See what I mean? It's different. It just feels different. You and I were talking about the top is going to happen in Q2, for a minute. And at first I was kind of like, yeah, I could see that. Right now, what I'm thinking is that the inauguration is going to happen January 20th. I think that once we hit another upshot now, it's not going to stop. Like, to me, this is not the big dip that I was talking about. This is not it. To me, that's going to happen. Wow, Stitch is losing his mind. It's not going to happen until, I bet you there's a deer outside. That's probably why. It's not going to happen until after the inauguration. And when that inauguration happens, after that inauguration happens, and the economic effects are put into place and everything else is going on, and we stop hearing about the tariffs and all that good stuff, and we hope and pray that everything's done properly, people don't understand how tariffs work, like at all. And that's going to be a problem for people. So with that, I'm sitting back and I'm just saying, Yeah, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a major economic problem. I heard somebody on television today talking about how her company, her investment firm, is looking at inflation and how it's going to rear its ugly head again. And I'm just sitting back. I'm going, yeah, I can see that. Now, is that second quarter? See, I just think it's going to happen. I just think that we can see an economic downturn first quarter next year. I really do think we can see that right after the inauguration. I can obviously see that, right? So it's a big deal. So for me, I'm sitting here and I'm just saying to myself, I'm hoping for the best, but I'm absolutely girding for the worst. So I will be as soon as January hits, I'll be up multiple times throughout the night to see anything. To see anything. I see 6%. I'm shaving. I'm shaving, and I'm probably going to shave a lot. There, I've already got my list of what I'm going to drop first in a heartbeat, and then I'll wait to see if it hits a bottom, and then I'd get back in, maybe, right? Or maybe just dump it into PaxG and call it a day. But who knows? But I am going to be paying serious attention to what's going on and how it's going on. Right? What other news do we have? Actually, let me read a couple of things. People are saying stuff. Exits on time is better than a number. For your choice, sure. The fact that ETFs keep buying at such high prices, yeah. Now you see what I mean? That's one of the things that makes me go, this is like no other, that we've seen before. No other cycle. Because they're not stopping. The inflows are ridiculous. I saw an interview on the street with some guy who is, I guess, trying to parade himself as like, I'm a crypto guy. I know what I'm talking about. And he's speaking in really big generalities. And I'm just like, oh, I can't even listen to you. Click. Can't even listen to you. Because right now, that interview was like, so tell me about the basics of crypto. It's like, are you freaking serious? Go take a class for that. Please deliver it to the rest of us. This is the street. This isn't some, neighborhood, publication. This is the street. Why are you talking to me like I'm an idiot? People that read the street are a bit more knowledgeable, and you're talking to them like they're, beginning investors. So that turned me off in a heartbeat. Click. Was a heartbeat. I just couldn't take it. And then he was talking to a guy, like the guy interviewing him didn't know what he was talking about. The guy that was talking knew what he was talking about, but it was just so high level that I was just like, what are you talking about, man? I just couldn't follow. I know you're not cashing out at all. You said that. I don't know based on time. I appreciate your input, but I don't know based on time that I'm going to do that. I think we run it, and not that I don't think that before when we spoke about it, I was kind of like, yeah, probably Q2. Yeah, sounds about right. Around there sounds about right. But I'm looking at some of these picks for the new regime, and I'm kind of like, they're already at odds with each other. One guy's thinking this way, another person's thinking that way, and I'm just like, that doesn't sound right. Nevarez, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. Welcome. Yeah, that was the whole point of bringing it over. SUI BTC staking. Yeah, that was it. But again, the level of integration, all these things going on, I don't know how that's going to affect the market. I think Q2 is the latest that we'll see it. I just think that the first economic faux pas of the new regime is going to send the markets in a downturn. Here's something else that I'm contemplating, and I mentioned this yesterday. Commercial real estate is in a bad place, and it's a feather away. It's a feather away, and some people will actually tell you it's already here. That bubble is over. You can already hear the air coming out. And I was like, ooh, So I'm kind of like, yeah, you know, you have companies doing layoffs previous to any market downturn because they're gearing up. They're like, we're going to make those cuts now. We're going to do as much as we can right now. We're going to start operating more leanly. We're going to start operating more efficiently. Blah, 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 blah. And too many companies are gearing up with that cash. Just too many companies are gearing up with that cash. What's up, Mike McCaskill? Sorry about that. Michael McCaskill. Sorry about that. Let's see. What else? Wisdom Tree. Files for XRP ETF in Delaware. With Delaware Trust. Sorry, with Delaware Trust. Not in Delaware. My bad. Coin Center identifies top threats. It's a nonprofit. They identify top threats to, digital assets in the United States. Rulemaking, all that good stuff. Regulation. The IRS having to tell anybody if you've done anything with Tornado Cash. Ooh. Hey, Todd. You start to see just all that and the unnecessary lawsuits. Those are the top three things. Avalanche, testnet, their biggest upgrade in a long time. Their biggest. Hey, Jared, their biggest. And it's like, ooh, that's interesting. Their biggest upgrade is in testnet right now. And I'm just like, I'm all for it. Dogecoin rival whiff. It spiked. Want to know why? Got listed on Robinhood. And Robinhood, I think it was Morgan Stanley, that said their price target before was like $24. Their price target now is like 55. Just saying. Those people know what they're talking about. They're in the numbers. They're looking at things. And Robinhood, goes across both, right? Crypto and stocks. And they're like, Robinhood's doing things. They're making moves. They listed Dog with Hat. Dog with Hat said, oh, we like that. Thank you very much. And I'm like, okay, I see you. What else happened in news today? Tornado Cash developer faces extended pretrial detention. They're not letting it go away. They're not letting it go away. I'm wondering what's going to happen with the new regime. Because they would have to be saying that the Tornado Cash developer did things directly as opposed to, no, he didn't. See what I mean? So I'm wondering if this is like a CZ situation. Hey, VJ. So that to me is a different kind of deal. It's a valid point. We have a situation transitioning the president exactly. So what we're identifying is a macro event that can alter the expected. You and I both had expected Q2 is going to be it. Not thinking, oh yeah, that's right. There's an election and there's going to be that thing called an inauguration. Oh yeah. So, hello, how are you? Hope you had a good day. I am great. Thank you for asking. Hope you are too. And that's for everybody. Hope you all had a great day. So you start to realize the small differences that can have an effect on. Remember the last. Was it the last one or the previous to last one? The big bagger meeting where I was talking about, risk and how risk is measured, by these investment firms. And they have software that evaluates the risk and puts a number to it. And then they do the math and they give that to the chief investment officer and they figure out, okay, what do we think it's going to be? Slightly off topic. I forgot to ask the question. Oops. Tonight's poll question for everybody is, what are you doing during the downturn? Panicking, holding, buying, other. And 6% panicking, 16 votes, 6% panicking, 56% holding, 31% buying, and 6% other. And that was probably Joaquin. Because Joaquin, I saw your other before, but I can't scroll right now. VJ holding. Good move. So, yeah, Hutanik. I mean, I'm with you, brother. I'm sitting back and I'm like, my calculation before Q2, Q3 sounded right. But then again, forgot about these tiny little things that are going on. Also, Also, at that time, we didn't have the record inflows into the Bitcoin ETFs that we do now. So those numbers got way bigger than I thought. Way, way bigger. So it's something that I'm like, ooh. I don't know what that is. What's GRT? If it's a coin, you know what information you got to give me. No, Todd, you can only do one, bro. You can only do one. Buying, kind of says you're holding. The graph. I need more information. You know the rules. You know the rules. Don't act like you're new here. You're not. You're old hat now. You're a big bagger. You know this stuff. Pump.fun. I mentioned it this morning. Pump.fun, the launch pad for Solana. People had been using their lives. I don't want to hear your excuses. Go stand in a corner and get to typing. Pump.fun had to suspend their live stream service because people were using their live stream service for nefarious things. Being hurtful to animals. Screw those people. Doing other things like just doing dumb stuff. And some of that stuff illegal. So they canceled it for a while. So now it's going to be interesting to see what new meme coins come out and how they build like ours, because we have GMB TV coin or token, sorry. And it's going to be interesting to see how people are going to get their names out there for those coins. And for those people that are wondering about, GMB TV, the token, there's actually a link in the description below, and you can actually go to pump.fun and see it. Yes, we built it on Solana because it's not mission critical. What are your thoughts on XDC? I heard it's going to be big. XDC is an ISO 222 coin. I mentioned it several times on previous videos. I don't want to get too deep into it right now. My feeling on XDC is that it is not, even last night, or even yesterday rather, got into it with Arjuna. I think that XDC was never meant for retail use. I think it was always geared toward institutional use. Arjuna thinks that it's going to be used for paperwork world, on a global scale. And I'm like, yeah, sure. But there are already companies doing that. XDC is no different. And I think for me, I think he was talking about institutional. And I'm like, XDC has not been cutting the deals like a Chainlink, like an XRP, even like other projects that are out there. I mean, heck, even Polygon is involved in stuff. I mean, Tether's in bed with freaking Cantor Fitzgerald. So there's a lot of stuff, and I'm just not seeing. I think XDC just rose because all of the ISO 222 compliant coins rose because of the statement that came out from the Bank of International Settlements that said, "Hey, these are the ones," including XRP, XLM, Cardano, Quant, IOTA, XDC, blah 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 blah. Right. So I think that's one of them. Red Star, so that's PAX G? Yeah. But like Hutanic, you see what I mean? So again, I've got to adjust my equation to account for the new regime's inauguration and what that risk could possibly mean. Good, bad, and different, it does represent risk. So what I'm expecting are abrupt and drastic changes to how the government operates, and that's going to send shockwaves, immediate shockwaves through the market, right? I mean, you have that guy who likes to take credit for being smart, who I don't think is. I think he knows he's a great manipulator. Hasn't proven to me that he's actually accomplished anything on his own. And I don't care what anybody says. I just haven't seen it. I have not seen it. That's like me taking credit for all the work that my developers do. That's not what I say to you guys, is it? I say my team is working on blah, 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 blah. That's what I say. He never says that. He always lets people think, it's all just him. He put that rocket in space. He landed that rocket on that little thing. He did all the math. He did everything. He did no. He invented Tesla. No, he did not. So, but he's famous for walking into Twitter, firing 80% of the staff, and then expecting everything to just be fine. And it wasn't. Still not. Still not. That's why you have such an exodus from there to like Blue Sky. Even we have an account on Blue Sky. It's actually pretty nice. Finally in the black one. Okay. That's good stuff, Joaquin. The graph ranked number 53. Market cap 2.3 billion. Volume is 185 million. Year to date 15.4% up. All-time high 2.87. Current is 0.25. Jesus. I can't even tell you it's GMB X Factor right now. I don't have it up. Circle can make USDC void if they want to. So PaxG is my pick for stable. Dude, exactly. Exactly. It's a stable coin that operates within the parameters of its local government, right? Wherever it's operating, it's making those choices. So if the government says, knocks on the door, and they say, hey, we want you to stop this, that's what they're going to do. Huskers, what's good? So yeah, I'd be looking about a 10 GMB X Factor. Thank you, Joaquin. Do I think that they're going to make that 10X? Don't know, but I think they would make a good X. I'll tell you that. For me, yeah, PaxG is going to be one of the things I want to do. The other one that I'd be interested in doing is USDT, only because USDT has the most pairs. I can buy the most coins. I have a variety of coins that I can buy, and the biggest variety is with USDT, not USDC. Right? So I'm probably going to go that way. Base layer 2 network, okay, surpasses $10 billion in total value locked. That's a big number to achieve, a very big number to achieve. Solana's Jupiter airdrops they're voting to airdrop $1.5 billion in tokens. That would be interesting. Do I think it's a good buy now? Ooh. Joaquin's right. You have to research to see what it's doing, but is it up? It's nowhere near its all-time high. So now you're talking about your comfort level, right? So when was the last time it took a dip? How big was that dip? How long did it stay in that state? In relativity, for me, I'd be looking at relative to other coins, that are akin to what it does. Right? That's kind of how I would look at it. And then you have Rumble. Video conferencing, yeah. Bitcoin treasury strategy. Semler Scientific also bought more Bitcoin. All the companies that have been buying are buying. Hutanic, for everybody else, Microsoft has their vote in December, remember? They've already started their vote, but I think the decision comes in December. Ooh. And I think they're going to be compelled. I put my money on they're going to be compelled to do it. I put my money on that. And they can't cry about, we don't know about the crypto market, blah, 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 blah. They're in bed with Chainlink in freaking Brazil. Now, they could cry that idea that, we're only supplying the infrastructure. But you're cutting the deal because you think that they're going to need a lot of infrastructure. Ta-da! So yeah, I don't know that they could use that excuse. Todd is asking, there was some technical difficulty, so I missed what you said about XDC. Can I please answer it? I've been speaking about ISO 222 for the past few days. They're all up because of the Bank of International Settlements having that press release last week. Not a press release, but a report out last week talking about, which coins are good and they're on the list. XDC to me is, mostly for institutional usage, not necessarily retail usage. That was also the separation between XLM and XRP. So do your research and figure out if you want to do it. I owned it, took a dip, and as soon as I broke to the black, I sold it. I dumped it. I was like, yeah, I'm not holding on to XDC. I don't think I have any XDC right now. I don't think I have any XDC right now. I'm going to verify. I don't get your pan. I don't get your plant. Your boomers in a bunch. That's what I'm doing right now. But I'm pretty sure I don't own any. Pretty sure I dumped it all. Yeah, I dumped it all. Dumped it all. Got rid of it. Have other stuff though. Other good stuff. Hom's house was good. That is a lot of juke, but it's just up for vote, and we'll see what happens. Right? I don't know what the vote is going to be. But anyway, back to you're welcome, Todd. I think there's a place for ISO 222 coins, but I don't think there's anything special about that particular compliance bit, because a lot of financial institutions are working with several coins, right? And that's what I'm paying attention to. I'm not necessarily, they're not choosing coins based on, oh, you got to be ISO 222 compliant. Well, that shortens the list. Yeah, they're not doing that. So that whole compliance thing that everybody thought was going to be a big deal for the coins to have, yeah, I don't know about that. So that's something to think about. But the Microsoft thing. Now think about this. If Microsoft votes, if the shareholders of Microsoft vote no, then no big deal. But what if they vote yes? Microsoft has enough money that they can cut billions of dollars in a check and not miss it. They'd probably forget. I mean, they're not going to forget, but you know what I mean? Why would you forget? I mean, they're not going to feel it. They have so much cash on hand. They're not going to feel it. And Microsoft is not they'll do small purchases, small buyouts of companies, but they're not going to do anything big, because Google's getting the nonsense kicked out of them. They could be getting split up. And here's something else for you. There's been talk that they also want to split up Amazon. That's a big deal. Now I want you to think about something else. Why would the case against Google speed up? And because they've already been found guilty, right? So if they get split up, who would stop them from splitting up Amazon? I mean, I think the chances are even higher that Google gets split up. Why? Because, well, you have who involved with the new regime. And he's in direct competition with Google in certain cases, especially AI. Boom. That's all it would take. What if Saylor's meeting with board goes longer than 3 minutes? That means nothing. That means nothing to me. His whining and crying and pleading and all that good stuff is going to come down to the shareholders, of which he's a shareholder. But I think it's going to come down to the shareholders. And the reason why I say they're going to be compelled is because what argument do you have against Michael Saylor? Against his case? Look at his company. I mean, what is he up like 538% in a year or something like that? He's up some ridiculous amount. So can you really go against what he's saying? Brookster, what's good? So, do you know what I mean? So I don't know that they could possibly make a good enough case to stick with their no decision. I mean, the big fight could be Vanguard versus BlackRock, right? Because they're both major shareholders of Microsoft. That could be something. But who knows what's going on behind the scenes? That vote might mean nothing. Just saying. But if Microsoft, let's just run with the idea that if Microsoft voted yes, they could cut that check, and the number of transactions, the size of transactions is already stretching, you know, OTC companies thin, reserve, exchange reserves, it's stretching it thin. Over the past week, they've purchased 10 times what was mined. 10 times what was mined as a whole. Just the ETFs. I think just the ETFs, not even Michael Saylor. You can't tell me that's not huge. You cannot tell me that's not huge. So yeah, I'm paying attention to, what these companies have going on and what could happen. So put all of that together and create your little algorithm, your little equation that gets you to when you think things can happen. I think the macro event that could really slap the nonsense out of the economy is going to be the first faux pas of the new regime that has an economic impact. Because it's not hard. The economy is not strong. You blow on it, things could go wrong. Like that. Not even like the big bad wolf, just $36 billion, over $36 billion in debt. Yeah, not hard. 82 billion. Yeah, I spoke about that earlier this morning. It was Shandong. Hold on, I'll tell you in a second. Shandong province. Joaquin's trying to be funny. So yeah, I'm sitting back and I'm just like, ooh, something like that can make a major move. Microsoft doing something in December skyrockets things, then everything skyrockets. You ride the skyrocket, or I'm going to ride that rocket for as long as I can, and then I'm going to hear that rocket's going to run out of fuel, and then and now are we going to hit, if we're above 100 grand, are we going to hit below 100 grand? The answer is yes. Absolutely could. The interesting question is, would we hit the number at the presidential election? Would we hit below that? History shows no. But this ain't like history. But I think just the integration of it all is going to have an impact, a positive impact on the crypto space, right? It could take a dip. It could take a big dip. Will it stay there for a long time? I don't know about that, because there's so much integration going on. Move investment to the side. There is so much integration going on. Anytime you hear about somebody or some company doing RWA, that's tokenization. That's integration. That's the use of the technology. Boom. That's going to cause traffic. And there you go. I cannot repeat what Hutanik wrote. Hutanik, go stand in a corner. Where's patient one? I need her now. I can't repeat it, but it was funny as hell. And I got to ask you a question. How do you know they hang on? You deserve that. So there's so much news out there that can point to a very soft economy. You have people that are out of work, that are staying out of work longer. You have people that are not quitting their jobs to find a new job. And even when you have a job, remember that rule? You never quit your job until you have a job. It's hard for people to find jobs. It's hard for people to find jobs. Boom. So you start to look at this stuff and Hutanik, I did not tell you to come out of the corner. That was really good. Oh man. For everybody on Instagram, the conversation over on YouTube is can sometimes be interesting. Very, very interesting. Oh man. And I can't repeat everything that I read. I cannot. You can read it, but I cannot repeat everything I'm reading. It's so bad. And sometimes they catch me out there. I'll be so in the zone and I'll just key in on something, be like, oh, I missed something, and I'll go and I'll start reading it and and they're going for the record tonight. So, when I look at everything that's going on, I'm starting to look at, you know, what project am I investing in? So when I start dumping, what am I going to dump first? Solana and meme coins. They're going to get dumped first. They're absolutely going to get dumped first. Right? Because I don't see longevity. Me personally. Excuse me, I just had dinner a little while ago. My own research tells me I don't see longevity, obviously, in meme coins, and I don't see it in Solana. So when I start to feel that, my rocket is, when I start to see that, I'm dumping those first. Because right now I'm remember I kept telling you guys I only have but so many slots? And it's because I filled those slots with things that I believe have longevity. For those things that don't have longevity, I could care less. So I have a tiered approach as to who I'm going to dump first and how I'm going to dump it, where I'm going to put the money. I know my exits. And when I say exits, I don't mean just how much money, what point no. I mean, like, how am I going to sell it? Where am I going to sell it? How much am I willing to lose on a transaction if I have to move quickly? I'm going to be calculating everything. Every freaking stinking step that I do, I'll be calculating everything. I'll be able to say, I paid this much in fees. This is my sale price. This is how much money I made or lost. Hopefully it's how much money I made. That's what the GMB crypto tracker enables me to do. I can see where I purchase things. I can see where I'm holding them, because where I purchased is not necessarily where I'm holding, right? And so I have to know where I'm going to sell stuff and how I'm selling it. And then here's the other thing. I might know where I'm going to sell it, but when that transaction's over, where am I going to park it? Know your entries, know your exits. The 3 rules. Do your own research, know your entries, know your exits, invest deliberately. And part of investing is selling. What my man's song say, got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. That's what I'm talking about. Don't overlook researching yeah, sure. I don't have that kind of time. I told you that before. I don't have that kind of time. I just really don't. I really, really don't. I know what I have. My time, the way it's managed is I know what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, how I'm doing it, the whole 9. It takes a lot for me to fit in additional anything. So yeah, down to if I have to take an additional poop, it's got to be scheduled. Sorry. Just joking. Extremely gentle on eyes. Yeah, I get it. I don't even care. Now that you're telling me, I don't even care. It's not going to affect my bag. Remember, I'm acutely focused on a few things. I'm acutely focused on building this community, building the platform to support the community, and growing my bags and helping people learn. Stop shilling, because I'm not going to be happy about it. But you're shilling for education. You're not shilling a freaking coin. Stop it. What you're doing is you're saying, hey, everybody, this is something that I think is good research. That's what you're saying. There's a difference. That's not shilling. So I don't have a lot of time. So even now, there are books I want to read. You know what I do? I listen to them as I work. I listen to them as I work because I just don't have that kind of time. My time is taken up. So if I take time to do something, it is incredibly deliberate. It means I really want to do it. And that research, although it sounds interesting, I don't really want to do it. I want to do it, but I don't really want to do it. So it's that kind of thing. It's that kind of deal. So yeah, we've got a lot of stuff going on. We have a lot of things this week, obviously jobless claims, all that good stuff. But I want you to pay attention. I want you to do your own research, but I want you to pay attention to, jobless claims and how long people are claiming. That's what I want you to pay attention to. Okay? Because that is a very big deal. Because it seems like people are losing their jobs, and especially this time of year. You lose your job this time of year, the chance of you landing another job is going to be tough because it's holiday season. And everybody whines, oh, we don't have the time, we don't have the budget right now. Wait, talk to us next year. Maybe we'll have something open up. Oh my God. It's like that. And then you have all these ghost jobs that are out there. And yes, I mean ghost jobs by real deal companies. You have major corporations that'll post a job externally because that's their rule, but they've already got somebody internally that's going to fill the job. But they have to post it. And I'm like, why? So you're going to waste all these people's time with a fake friggin' job because you've already filled it. You've already filled it. Person already started working. Meanwhile, you still have the job ad up. They do that all the time because they don't care. These companies don't care about how much it costs for you to go on an interview, the time that it takes, the preparation that it takes, all that stuff. They don't care. They don't care. And so right now it's a buyer's market, meaning the companies have all the jobs or don't, whatever it is, but it's a buyer's market. When it comes around to the seller's market, people are going to remember how much companies don't care about them. And they're going to walk in the door and they're going to be like, I don't care about your stupid freaking perks. I don't need your freaking pizza. We're not a family. I want the money for the job. Don't think I'm going to do anything more because it's that amount of money for that job. This is what I'm supposed to do. That's what I'm going to do. That's what you're paying me for. And a lot of these companies have the audacity to say that people are not being lazy. They're not going the extra mile. You don't pay them to go the extra mile. Stop expecting it. Well, you got to work for the job that you want. Maybe they already have the job that they want. An investor's mindset is, I have the job that I want because I'm taking the money that I make, I'm paying myself and investing. Maybe I don't need any more. I just need to get paid so I can invest. So if I maintain X amount of salary, I invest. I've done the math at this age. I'm done. You have a lot of people out there doing that. You have a lot of people out there that are not accepting managerial positions because those managerial positions mean they have to work harder for dollar less money. Which means that they lose out on living life, and more and more people are looking at the idea of living life. And I say this as this is why people are really getting into investing. They don't want to do all that kind of stuff. Hey, Paula, how are you? So I'm just sitting back and I'm just going, yeah, people should be paying attention to this. They really should be paying attention to this. Those jobless claims mean something. Retail sales mean something. All that stuff, put it all together. Do your own research. Know your entries and exits. Invest deliberately. I know I harp on it all the time, but those are the things that I'm always going to harp on. So you will hear bleh, myself and other members, other subscribers, other people in the community go back and forth on how they do things, how I do things. We're not arguing. I don't have their portfolio. They don't have mine. They don't have my end game. I don't have theirs. But what we are doing is giving each other ideas, different perspectives that we might be able to put in our toolbox. To me, that's kind of a big deal. I like knowing what other people are doing. because it makes me go, oh, maybe I should go research that. Maybe that's an option for me. Maybe it's not, but I will not know until I go research that. Right? So like Hutanic put me on the PAX G. So what am I about? PAX G, baby. Right? You get ideas from the community and you might go, hey, I don't like that idea. Or hey, that was a good idea. Right? I'm just saying, there are a lot of us out there that are doing a lot of research and we're all sharing it in a non-judgmental community. The God, what's good? So just paying attention to things, just doing the research, not just looking at the cursory kind of news, right? I also don't look at any news that says this coin is going to crash if these things happen. That doesn't help me. The same way in a reverse. This coin is going to skyrocket if these things happen. I'm doing well, my man. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well too. So I don't pay attention to those. I pay attention to the things that, that seems interesting. This company's working for that company. This company's buying that company. This company's going out of business. This company laid off 21% of their staff. This company is integrating this kind of technology. This company's doing RWA. This company's doing metaverse stuff. I'm paying attention to things that most people probably would not pay attention to. I don't need somebody to tell me this is what I think a coin is going to do as much as why they think a coin is going to do that. What's the thought process behind it? And truthfully, I really just want to know the news. I really want to know what's going on out there, because then I can start to paint the picture with the right hues, the right shading, the right fading, the right light. I can start painting that picture. So right now, my picture of Sui, it is a beautiful picture. They had an outage. They handled it like champs. They're doing deals. They're keeping themselves in the news in a positive fashion. They're making all the right steps. Now, nobody's paying me from Sui. Nobody's paying me from them. A lot of coins are doing that. Avalanche was quiet for a little while, and all of a sudden, Sleeping Giant woke the hell up. Big. So I'm paying attention to things like that, because I think that more and more integration, more and more adoption, I think that's going to pull retail investors, but more importantly, pull retail usage into the fold. And that's really what I want. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. If you like what we're doing over here, do me a favor. Tell your friends about it. Get them to sign up as members. Get them to sign up as subscribers. Hit the likes. Smash the likes. And tell everybody about it. Tell everybody you're having fun. And thank you for blessing me with your time. I greatly appreciate it. Everybody. Oh, wait. Can't sign off yet. Hold on. Tonight's question. Look at that. You guys almost let me do this. Tonight's question. 22 votes. What are you doing during the downturn? 5% panicking. Fair. 41% holding. Next one to be interesting. 41% buying. And other is 14%. So that's two people that said other. That's interesting. It's two people. Yeah, two people. That's interesting to me. That's crazy. Right? I do these polls so I can get people to think. 1, 2, so I can kind of see what's going on. And the two people that said other, that's why I'm saying it's crazy. It's like they're saying other. Like, why? C4 Bangalore, what's good? So I start to put all of this huge matrix of information, this huge universe of information, and I try to paint pictures, right? Sometimes they're very broad pictures about a particular topic or industry or whatever. And then I can start to hone in on, who's talking about Sui, who's talking about Robinhood, who's talking about Riot, Who's talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polygon, XDC, everybody's talking about everything. But what's the important conversation that's going on? So your homework tonight, I want you to start spending a minimum of 10 minutes a day doing your own research. Please. All right? Everybody, have a great night. And yes, Polkadot did wake up Rick Ritchie. Have a great night. Thank you for your time. Thank you for blessing me with it.